Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are teetering into the afternoon. It's K Rev on K's Couch, and I'm excited today. You know why I'm excited? Number one, I'm excited because I'm breathing, I'm living, I have a voice. I'm positioned in a place to where that I can talk and I can be an encouragement to somebody. I'm thankful. I'm thankful because I got out of my own bed and no one had to help me get up. I'm thankful because I can breathe on my own and I don't have any type of breathing machine. I'm thankful because, I can maneuver myself. I can, bathe myself. I can comb my own hair as much as I have. I can comb my own hair. I can position myself like I want to because I have strength, and I'm definitely honored to have that. So how many people have really got themselves a chance to really sit back and just be thankful for what they have? I know we can always think about what we don't have, but how many people are thankful for what they have? Listen, I'm thankful for what I have. I found myself to be in a place of contentment and being thankful. In order for me to manage more, I got to be able to manage what I have. So I'm excited. Listen, today on Kate's Couch, man, I have a phenomenal young brother that I really have had an opportunity to talk with a few times, and I'm excited. I'm excited for him. I'm definitely excited to have him here, and I'm thankful. His name is Nic King. He is disrupting the traditions out here right now, and I am so happy about that. We're going to be talking a bit to him today. One of the first African Americans that's breaking and pushing strides and opening doors in the cereal world, and this is phenomenal. I am so excited to have him on, and I'm happy to have him on, and we're going to be bringing him in just a few minutes. So I want you guys to stay tuned, grab some popcorn or whatever you're doing, or if you got your afternoon break, grab your Twinkie and your Coca-Cola. Listen, we're about to have a conversation with Mr. Nic King here on the couch, K's Couch. Hey, Nic.
My guy, what's going on, man? How are you?
Listen, hey man, I'm alive and I'm kicking and I'm happy
Yes,
and I'm
sir.
excited, man. And man, how are you doing?
Oh man, amazing, man. I always got to go with blessed and highly favored. Another day, man. Just breathing, operating in this space, and really making strides and making things happen, man. So I'm blessed and I'm happy, man.
This is phenomenal. I'm glad, man. I mean, so many people didn't get a chance to get up this morning, but
Yeah,
I'm thankful that we did. We got a chance to get here and do it right again.
agreed.
Even if we didn't do it right yesterday, we got another opportunity to do it right today, and I'm excited, man. Just one thing, man. Like, listen, where did you get that jacket from? I want one like that, brother.
I don't mind sharing, man. Listen, Amazon had a really good sale, man. So I got you. I'm not even gonna hold you. These things are like $40 a piece, but I was like, this is right, perfect aligned with the way I dress, man. It's simplistic, but you can add a little flair to it if you like, man. So I got them in like 5 or 6 colors, man, to be honest.
I love it. Yo, listen, I know I love the other one. The one for the flyer was awesome. Like, dude, I gotta ask this cat where he get this flyer from, these jacket from, man. So I love it, man. I love the vintage effect, but it's also hip and it's really, really cold, man. I love it, man. I love it, man. But again, thank you for being here and for spending some time with me on K's Couch. Basically, man, I just really want my audience to know that we got some major players out here that are really shaking the world up, and that's what you're doing. But we don't have all day to really sit around and talk because we got to go out and keep shaking the world, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
so I wanted to bring you on real quick. I just want to introduce you to the world and my world, and others that will be listening to the interview, man. So, thank you for being here.
Definitely, man. I'm always excited to do things like this, man. Especially, you're lending your platform so we can, amplify what we're doing as a brand. And it's 2021. So anybody that takes a moment out of the time to amplify Black voices, especially Black entrepreneurs, man, is key. So what you're doing is very important. But we've talked about this behind the scenes as well.
Absolutely, family. We have, man, and I thank you again for being. So I want to dive into breaking the ice and getting to know who Mr. Nic King is. So tell us about who's Nic King and what are you standing for? What do you represent, man?
You used a great word, man. It's probably one of my favorite words, man. Disruptive. I love that word. I love that word. It just, prior to that, I think rebel has always been a word used for my mentality and the way I think. Just because I don't really like being boxed in when people say, well, they said, or you know what I mean, you should only do it. I'm always like, wow, who said it? Who's they? That's always a key part of the conversation, So when you said disruptive, I was like, yes, disruptive innovation, man, is something that I stand for firmly, man. But Nic King as a whole, dad first, man of faith, creative, in all spaces, man. But for sure, someone that's innovative and disruptive that really wants to push the culture forward and kind of stand back in our greatness, where we deserve to be.
I love it, man. I love that, man. Listen, we're going to get into this in a second, but I need everybody to know this man has opened the door to the cereal world. You know how old the cereal world is? Like, we're looking at General Mills,
Yeah.
I'm 40, I'll be 43 next month. And, I still every now and then creep into some Frosted Flakes or some Lucky Charms or something. So just think about how older that traditional platform is, and to be one of the first African-American Black young men to open this door, family. This is amazing, man.
I appreciate it. Really, really doing the research, just because I needed to know what type of data I'm dealing with. Yeah, we're dealing with 100 plus, year old industry that's growing. I think this year, if not next year, they're grossed globally to do a little bit over $40 billion. And there's culturally there's no representation, no one that looked like us, prior to myself jumping in. So I'm excited to be in that space, carve out my own, blue ocean in that space to say, what, this is just the beginning, and really either blowing the hinge off the door or jamming something in the door to let everybody else in, and really showing people exactly what that actual process to get into the cereal industry really is.
Listen, you mentioned Blue Ocean. You and I had a conversation about that real quick the last time we spoke. Kind of enlighten us on where you get that term from.
Yeah, I think the biggest is one is a book for those who are interested in it. But I think the biggest thing that I loved about the book is, everyone always thinks that you have to go into an industry to compete. This book is basically saying, the red ocean would signify that competition space, red and blood, and what I'm saying, like that side of it. That's why people will say red ocean. Blue ocean is that space to yourself. So when people are saying like, well, how are you, going to compete with General Mills? They have billions of dollars. And I'm like, listen, blue ocean, I'm here to carve out my own space and really build. I'm not looking at anybody else as far as competition. What we're doing here is different. There's no cereal company out that is young, that relates to millennials and Gen Zs, that's hip, that's cool, that's immersed in Black culture, but also emerged in pop culture. We know culturally we push the culture forward. So, okay, if I was to ask you who the CEO of General Mills is, now you may know because you might be well researched, but most people don't. Most people have no idea who the CEO of General Mills is. Most people have no idea who the CEO of Kellogg's is. But when you look at Legacy Cereal Company, you have a face to that brand. And, like I said, I'm excited to be in that space and really represent, what Legacy Cereal Company and Proud Puffs is as a whole.
Listen, Nic, this is a phenomenal, man. Legacy Cereals. You guys are getting ready to do some major stuff. You guys just did, from what I can see, you guys just did a giveaway. Am I correct?
We're still in the process of, right now we launched our first annual Legacy Cereal Company HBCU scholarship program. So that's going on right now until August 1st. And, we wanted to lead from the front. That was one of part of our Operation Love, which is our corporation initiatives. And we're like, what? Why wait until, we have hundreds of thousands of dollars, to give back? If we waited that long, there's probably a kid or, somewhere that needed that smaller portion of the scholarship that we could have provided, but we waited. So we looked at the budget and we said, what can we put in out of pocket? And, we're donating or giving away $1,000. So $500 a piece to two students. in the hopes that that goes towards, whatever their actual college needs are.
Wow, that's phenomenal, man. Again, it takes courage, man, to even make these type of decisions. Again, everybody, I need you to listen that this man has opened the doors, one of the first Black African Americans to open the door to the cereal platform, man. We talking about General Mills and Frosted Flakes.
There it is.
We talking about the only cultured cereal we may have had was Honey Smacks, So
Weirdly enough, that was a favorite of mine,
Yeah.
That was definitely one of my top 5 cereals growing up. I don't know what happened to it now, but Honey Smacks was definitely a favorite for sure.
Got you. Well, do this for me, man. So we're gonna go into the interview a little bit more. So explain the moment, man. Explain the moment in your life that caused you to pursue your dream and take the stage as an entrepreneur.
That part has really kind of always been embedded in me. Both of my parents were entrepreneurs. Both of them own their own business, so you kind of really getting to see that firsthand of how they decided to navigate their industry as their own, and being their own boss and making their own schedules and making decisions. Again, I've always been that rebel. So when that popped up and I seen that, I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's exactly what I want to do. So, I remember my high school teacher, her being upset because everyone is in class and they're going through it. And they're like, so, what do you want to be when you go out? What college are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to own my own business. And literally, I remember her being so upset. Like, Nick, you have to pick a college. And I'm like, nope. I know I want to own my own business, and that is one thing that kind of really stuck with me. And I've always been one to bet on myself and believe that I can actually do anything I kind of put my mind to, or just challenge myself. It's like that even if you fail forward, kind of mentality. Mm-hmm. So that entrepreneurial spirit, thankfully, has I've been blessed to always have that a part of me. So I do have a corporate background, but I was always building and creating different things on my own as well, just to kind of keep my my entrepreneurial skills sharp.
Awesome, man. Legacy Cereals creator and owner here, Nic King. I am so excited to have you here, man. Listen, a couple more questions and we're going to be wrapping up because we here for the break time for the people. So real quick, so in creating your own lane in history, what do you do to keep yourself motivated? I know sometimes, you and I have had conversations, about some things and how the journey can be a bit, tedious and a bit pressing at times, especially being one of the first in the industry.
Right.
So what keeps you going, man? What keeps you motivated, man?
I think the biggest thing is less of motivation, more of just discipline. That motivation, like you say, if you think about motivation, is what kind of keeps the wheels going. But at some point that can kind of die down. It's that discipline, knowing that I have to see this thing through.
I like that.
It's that combination of discipline and faith. I said recently, I remember just posting it and saying, God didn't bring us as a company, or me as a whole, didn't bring me this far just to bring me this far. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's more for it. I just have to continue to be disciplined, have faith, to unlock the next steps for me. So, where our company's this month actually is made our 5th month. So we're 5 months new. And I know that there's so many more amazing things for us. And then that's really what kind of keeps me harnessing this energy to keep it going.
Man, that is amazing, man. So we got to make sure that not just we stay motivated and stay goal oriented, but we got to stay disciplined.
Yes.
That is awesome. I was reading a book that was actually given to me by a friend of mine. I think it's called The Atomic Habits. Love the book. And the first thing that I noticed when I was reading the book that really stuck with me, that your goals at some point in time could be your enemy if you don't have a system set in place. So your discipline that you was mentioning is something that we need, that creates that system. So when we do get lost in goal orientation, we still have the discipline to keep us going. So the goals will come automatically. So man, I like that. I truly, truly appreciate that. So in wrapping up, man, I just need to know this. Why do you think it is important not to be afraid to disrupt the system of traditional perspectives?
The biggest thing is, everybody goes into the mindset of what worked. This worked. So it's
Got you.
for me, I'm looking at it going, all right, well, if that worked, sure. There's a plan, there's a format in there that I could potentially use. But the disruptive side basically looks at it going, okay, that worked only until this far. Yes, it's a growing industry, but what else has it done? What else has been different moving pieces? How else has it affected culture? Being the first Black-owned cereal company as a whole, I'm looking at so many different lanes and so many different avenues that I know cereal hasn't touched yet. My leading with intentionality of how I wanted to design the packaging, leading intentionality of wanting to address food deserts as a part of our corporate initiatives, leaning in the intentionality of saying, you know what, I want to target HBCUs specifically to give scholarships. Like those are little areas to where I'm like, you know what, that traditional way of marketing and building a brand isn't going to be the direction that I go. If I told anybody I was going to go this direction and navigate it this way, they would have told me early on that I would have failed. I know this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like this is something that I know. When I talk to people and they're like, how are you even getting this much attention? How are you getting this much press and interest? How are you building this brand so fast? It's because I decided not to go that traditional route, that business book for dummies, 101. I skipped that book completely and said, you know what? It's 2021. What have I learned? You know what I mean? As growing up, or also how are millennials and Gen Zs actually navigating the business space? It's not under the traditional space. It is a little bit more disruptive. We are marketing it a little bit differently, and leading that way is key, man. So I think believing in yourself is very important and very imperative in growing out a business, but also just knowing you can pick little parts of how to, because there are little structures that are in the Business 101 book that you do need, but you can also build out the brand how you see fit and it still be successful as well.
I love that, man. You cannot be afraid to walk in what you know belongs to you.
Yes, sir.
You can't allow yourself to be afraid. I don't care how big the Goliath is. David didn't have any armor based on what the story said. He just had a slingshot and his faith and belief in himself and his God. You have to be like that with your business. You have to know that what I possess, the market needs.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how big my competition is. At one point in time, they were me. So at the end of the day, I got to be out here and I deserve to be in this space. So you can't be afraid to disrupt what's going on. When earthquakes come, tornadoes come, they come and they disrupt what was. But you know what? If you get a hands on that plan and recreate, what you rebuild actually becomes better. So when you are as a person that chooses to come in and just shake some stuff up, you got to know that I'm shaking it up for the better. And man, hats off to you, my friend Nick, because you're disrupting, you're shaking. You got these people out here scared, man. So you got them out here scared, man. And so I'm excited to be connected. I'm excited to have conversations with you. Before we wrap it up on the couch, man, any words you want to leave, with everyone, with the people?
Of course. I mean, to circle back, in the space of really believing in yourself, man, it's 2021. And this is the perfect time to boss up. If COVID hasn't taught us or has taught us anything, is that that was disruptive. There are a lot of people who believe that their corporate job was safe. Quickly realized that it's not as safe. They're safe as in how they need to navigate their business as far as letting go. Like, listen, this is going to keep us alive. Y'all got to go. And if they didn't have the unemployment thing didn't kick in, there'd have been a lot of people homeless. There would have been a lot of people in sticky situations if they didn't have, the power bills being delayed and, car notes being delayed because of COVID and people and, corporations understanding. There'd have been a lot of people in really bad financial predicaments. So it's really big that you hone into a skill, a trade of some sort, whether it's a graphic designer or journaling, or you're really good at making Easter baskets or something. Like multiple revenue, multiple streams of income is huge. But really, like I said, really believing in yourself, betting on yourself, not allowing outside noise to really disrupt what you want to build. And I think that's the biggest thing for Legacy Cereal Company. We didn't ask anybody. We're not politely asking for a seat at the table. We're creating our own table, or we're just moving people over. And then that's the mentality that we're leading with. So proudpuffcereal.com. Any questions, feel free to reach out. We are currently still crowdfunding. So we're taking all backers. Feel free to visit proudpuffcereal.com or fundblackfounders.com/proudpuffcereal. And that's where we'll be crowdfunding that, man. I appreciate you. Most importantly.
Listen, man, family, I appreciate you for being available and coming out. Listen, people on the couch, those that are going to go back and look at the video on the internet, those that's going to restream. So listen, I want you to know that my motto is love life and live love. That's the best way to do it. And I can appreciate the fact that we have a disruptive innovator in our midst in the history of our culture. And I'm truly honored to have you on the platform, man, to where that we can connect even more. It's a lot of things that's going to be happening on the couch and also with my brand period. And I definitely want to include you and those who will be available. But listen, tomorrow, same time, same bad channel, we got Mr. Quinn, that'll be with us tomorrow. Be with us tomorrow, talking about the art of leadership. So I'm excited to have him on tomorrow. So we're gonna have a good time tomorrow. So listen, everybody, stay blessed, stay connected, stay strong, love life and live love. And I'll be seeing everybody tomorrow. Man, y'all be safe at the couch, K's couch.